Welcome back to Brook Valley Life. Hello for the first time, or welcome back. Today we're just going to carry on from the last video where we strung the bow properly using a bow stringer and we checked everything. We made sure everything was good. This week we're going to be looking at brace height and tiller and how we can adjust it and why we have it set at certain things. So stay with me and let's go and sort it out. So we're talking, now we've strung our bow, we're talking about brace height and tiller. So what is the difference? So brace height, when we're checking our brace height, we've got our string on, and what we're going to be doing is checking the distance between the throat of the grip or the center of the burger hole or cushion plunger or whatever you want to call it. Lots of different names. And it's the distance between there and the string. As long as you take that distance the same each time, you'll all be good. And all you do is you take your square, T-square, F-square, whatever you've got that you use, and you put it into your throat, find the longest distance, and then read off what you've got. Mine is at 23 centimeters. I use centimeters. A lot of people use inches. It's up to you, but I like being modern. Or a bit of a dig at the Americans there, sorry. So yeah, 23. Why does it matter? Well, I've been doing a little bit of research on this, and it goes into stuff like dynamic spine, and changing it up and down will weaken or stiffen an arrow. And for us beginners, I say for us beginners, I've been shooting for a while, but for beginners, even intermediate archers, we're going to be tuning the bow anyway, and we want to get as close as we can with the spine before we start tuning. So I know that my 30-pound bow, because I haven't even checked draw weight yet, I'll do that when I start tuning, needs about an 800 spine arrow, which I've got. But I want it to have a brace height of 23, because that is when my bow is the quietest. That is when it feels correct. However, if I increase the the brace height, that means the string will come this way a bit. Yeah, so this distance will get bigger. And we can do that by letting in, we can put more twists in the string. The more twists you put in the string, the shorter the string. Therefore, it's putting more bend this way on the string from top and bottom. Therefore, your brace height will get bigger. What happens when your brace height gets bigger? Well, actually, the arrow comes off the string sooner. So less force is put into the arrow. If there's less force put into the arrow is shooting slower. However, your bow is going to be more forgiving, is what they say. It just feels easier to shoot. Now, if we go the other way and we reduce the brace height, we take some twists out of our string. The string goes this way. That means the arrow will stay on the string longer. More force will be exerted onto the arrow. Therefore, your arrow will go faster. However, because there's more slop in the string, it's only going to be fraction. What can happen is your bow becomes unforgiving. So if you do make a mistake, God knows where your arrow is going to go. But also, as the string comes through, it can hit your arm. So you want to make sure that your brace height is in the correct position where you want it, and shoot it at different levels, different heights, so you know what you like. Yeah, it's going to be different for everybody. Each manufacturer has a range at which you can run the brace height at, and it's all up to you to test it. As I said, I like mine at 23. It's when my bow is the quietest and it just feels really nice to shoot. So that is brace height. And what I will say is, once you've got a brace height you like, write it in a book that you keep in your quiver. Brace height and tiller. So when you go to a competition, or you even just go training down at the local range, you can put your bow together and you can quickly do a quick check and say, yeah, my brace height is 23, my string hasn't unstrung itself. Because sometimes if it's not put away correctly, it will unwind. Next, we'll check our tiller. Now our tiller is from the limb here as it goes into the riser, all the way at 90 degrees to the string. And all we do is we take our T-square, put it on, read off. That's 18.4 top, 18.4 bottom. That's called a neutral tiller, so there's no difference between top and bottom. A lot of people like to run either positive or negative. Now the reason they do that is because the grip with the pivot point of the bow is not in the center. So as you pull it, it's going to pull more on one of these, more on, I think it's the top than the bottom limb. That is why people run with a mismatch in tiller between top and bottom. However, nowadays, that is usually taken into account, and you'll notice it had upper and lower on these limbs, and it's usually taken into account. So I always start at neutral tiller, and then if I have to change it, I will then either bring my tiller bolt or limb bolt in and out to adjust the tiller length to what works. I may have to put it in fraction, I may have to take it out of fraction, but that's how you change your tiller. Why is it important? It affects how your bow sits in your hand and actually shoots. What you want is both limbs to come forward at exactly the same time and produce as small amount of vibration as possible. Also, when you draw your bow, you want it to draw smoothly and straight. If one of these tillers is way out compared to the other one, as you pull it, the bow will either want to pull up or pull down. And you want to keep it as smooth as possible in the center so it just sits there. So that is why tiller and brace height are very, very important, and you should always check it whenever you put your bow together. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's just a quick look at brace height, it's a quick look at tiller, and it's showing you how to string a bow correctly. If you have enjoyed this, the beginning of this new series, please share it with your friends, like, subscribe, all the other good things. And I've got a fly flying around here. Sorry about that. And I will catch you next time. Keep shooting and keep going, Anthony. You know what you're up to. Good on you. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.